Hi, as you may possibly know, I cannot blanket 2017 in the statement that it has been the best year for me. Because when you think about the best year or the best day or the best season, you think about the one that you are happiest, the one that you succeeded the most, the one that things that you bore a lot of fruit and all that. And that hasn't been 2017 for me. In 2017, I've gone through my deepest pain, my deepest loss. I've lost people, have lost a lot of different things. I have gone through a really deep valley and struggled with. One of my struggles has really profoundly come to the surface this year, and it's not really easy then to put 2017 in that box of the best year as such. But with the way that I live my life, I really celebrate everything because I'm God's child and I'm always in His hands, and He makes everything beautiful. Of course, in its time, and as long as you're in the Maker's hands, that is the best place possible you can be. And so I was thinking through my year, because I mean, almost all of us do that. When it comes to the end of your year and another year is soon to begin. You just look through your year, what it has been like, what you have learned, what you regret, or rather the mistakes you made that have taught you a lot, and all that. And I was looking through that, and to be honest, in as much as there is so much that has seemingly not happened for me in the eyes of other people, I really celebrate what God has done in my life, because He has really heavily engaged my spirit through all those things that I went through, and through all those valleys that I walked through. He has really engaged my spirit and brought me to such a great level of growth. And even in all that, He has also gifted me with so many beautiful things. I actually have lots of beautiful divine Christmas gifts that I'm celebrating right now. And today in this video, I just thought to share with you the 10 most profound things through the year that I have learned, that I have been reminded of, that I have been enlightened on, just basically to end this year with you. And first, I just want to thank you so much for joining with me since I began this little journey of vlogging. I don't even remember which month, but I know it wasn't so long ago. And also on social media, on my blog, my music. I just want to thank all of you who have so loyally journeyed with me, encouraged me, shared with me. I really appreciate it. And I thought it would be very beautiful if I just shared with you the 10 most profound lessons in my life. I cannot keep them to myself. I cannot say that I have fully healed from some things, or I've fully transitioned into what's next, but I'm so hopeful, and I'm taking a day at a time, just waiting for what God has planned for me to unfold. And so the first thing I can say is I have my notes with me, just so I can wade through them seamlessly and not forget anything. The first thing is that God desires first place in our lives. Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. All these things will be added unto you after you seek first the kingdom of God. He desires first place in our lives, and our gifts can easily take that place. The one thing that can so heavily compete with the place of God in your life is your gift. Is that one thing that He has given you that makes you unique, that makes you stand out, that makes you that brings glory your way and everything. That's the one thing that can so heavily compete with the place of God in your life. And there are times that God can shut that specific gift from birthing anything more, just so you can draw back to Him and pay your full attention to Him and commit fully to Him and have all your devotion on Him rather than on your gift and what your gift can do for you. So I believe that one of the many things that God has been doing in my heart through this year is just to help me understand the vitality of my gifts, and my gifts, and that above all, He is superior to everything. I think I shared sometime, maybe on a blog, that the first principle in the Bible, because the Bible is full of principles, the first principle in the Bible is the supremacy of God. Genesis 1 verse 1, in the beginning God, then everything else. So above everything in your life, God has to take first place. He is actually a jealous God. I hope the wind is not too much. He is actually a jealous God, and He can shut the doorway to some things just so He can have your full attention and have you completely and fully focused on Him. So do not let what God has given, do not let your gifts take God's place in your life, and do not let your blessings take God's place in your life. Number 2, God is more interested in what He's doing in you than what He's doing through you. For those of us who have at the end of the day, we all ought to minister in the way that even we just basically live our lives, and we can get so busy working in the vineyard and doing things for God, and working in church and ushering and singing and all those things, and we don't open our hearts to be engaged by God Himself, to the lessons, to the teachings, to the processes, and all those things. God is more interested in the vessel. And it's easy for us to get so lost out on that thought, because when you have a gift and that gift is bearing fruit, even people celebrate the fruit. They celebrate the fruit, and many times you can end up now putting your focus on the fruit and forgetting yourself as the vessel. And therefore, it's very important for each and every one of us to just always keep that in mind. All of us who are out there doing something for God, always keep it in mind that God is more interested in you as a person, because everything you're going to do is going to be an outpouring of what's stirring up in your heart. And therefore, if you're empty, you're running on empty, or you're filling your mind with everything else but what God would want to communicate to you, then I think we really lose out on the big idea. So God is more interested in what He's doing in you. He loves what He's doing through you, but before what He's doing through you, He wants you for you, and He wants to work on you and grow you. Number 3, okay, pain and hardships are a part of life. Even Jesus said, in this life you're gonna go through trials, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. People ask questions like, why do Christians go through difficult things and all that? But Jesus said it Himself. That's what the world is like. But we have a home in heaven that is nothing like that. It's all gonna be joy and music and all those things. This is a 2-in-1 sort of point. Pain and hardships are a part of life, but regardless of what you go through, number 1, God is constant and He is consistent. God never moves and God never changes. And so it is our work. Even the Bible says, draw near to Him and He will draw near to you. It is up to us. How deep you are with God and how connected you are or plugged in you are with God is up to you. It really is up to you. So the deeper your valley, the deeper you ought to go. Not to mean that when you're high up there, then you need to loosen up. That's not what I mean. You really need to be keen on just flowing with the season and always seeking to go deeper and deeper and deeper. God never moves. God is consistent. God never changes His ways. His ways are standard. He's always He's the same. He is the same yesterday, today, forever, forevermore. He's gonna be the same. So God is constant. He's consistent, and we need to walk in step with Him and see and stay plugged into Him so that we see what He has for us. And the second point is that He works all things together for our good. God does not necessarily inflict the pain that we go through, but He can work through that pain for His glory. And that's the power of testimony. I mean, just God taking you out of deep pits and delivering you. So sometimes just look more Focus more sometimes on just celebrating your pain and your gifts and all that, because at the end of the day, God's glory is seen in it all, and that's the most beautiful thing. Number four, actually, just all these points are just coming from everywhere, every area of life. Just they're random. Number four, be present. This is said a lot, but I think it's more than just saying it. It's important to be present, to be available for people around you. Call people, text people, check on them, like their posts, comment on their posts, share their posts, attend their concerts, send them gifts, be available. We need people need people, so don't forget to be available even as you walk into the new year. And if at all there's anything you might need to do to just better that area of your life, go ahead and do it. And one thing I experienced in my own life is that to some extent people sort of expect so much from me sometimes, and I'm thinking, I also need you. I just need you to one day call me up and ask me how I'm doing without bashing me for being silent and all that. Life serves us with different things every other day. And so just be sensitive, be present, be there. People need people, and be so genuine in it. Let it not be about you can really feel when someone is really genuinely checking on you, looking out for you and all that. So be genuine in it. Just love on people so freely and so genuinely without actually expecting anything back. Number five, learn to listen to your body. Now, in September, I experienced heavy burnout. I've experienced burnout before, but it was so light, really nothing compared to what I experienced this time. And my body was actually giving me signs that I was burning out, but I did not I wasn't even keen. I was too busy to listen to what my body was trying to say, and I ended up actually shutting down. We could even say that I was sick. It wasn't good. So your body speaks to you. So listen to your body and serve your body with what it needs, as long as whatever that is healthy, reasonable, and honors God, glorifies God. So listen to your body. Your body speaks to you. When you need to rest. Only push when you really have to. I think all of us have that small window where we can push a bit extra, and you burn out or you get fatigued when you now surpass that window. So you can push when you need to, but really stay in touch with what your body is trying to tell you, so that you can take care of yourself. We need you whole. We need for you to do everything else you're trying to do. We need you to be well. We need you to be whole. So listen to your body and take care of yourself. Number six, it's an interesting one. Singlehood is not pointless. Singlehood is a season mainly to I don't know if to use the word achieve, but to achieve wholeness. Achieve sounds more like, wholeness is really something, yeah, you can achieve it, but it's more like an everyday thing. It's more like an everyday thing, just to maintain and stay there. So singlehood is not a pointless season. It's not sitting on the bay waiting for the bus to come. While you're single, it's very important for you to spend time, number one, with God. Invest so much in your spiritual life. It's really important. I really encourage people, invest in your spiritual life. Pray, read the word, read books, and stay around people who embody all that there is to Christ. Invest in your relationship with God, and invest in yourself. And it's also a very important time to spend time with yourself. There's a difference between solitude and loneliness. Solitude is when it's intentional time by yourself or with yourself to just think, and meditate, and even have God speak to you, because many times we have so much noise going on around us that we can't really hear what God is saying. So there's a difference between solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is when there's that need for to fit into a certain group or something like that. So solitude is very important, and many of us do not really get to a place where we can actually be okay with solitude, but it's really really important to be. It's really really important to be. So if you're watching this and you're single, please just wait and trust in God. And that time is very very, I've seen it with my own life. It's very very vital. It's very very vital to bring you to a place of maturity, and the most important areas of your life, they bud and they grow at that time. And there are things that have to be fully developed in your life before you can actually share your life with someone else. So singlehood is not pointless. Do not rush to move on to the next phase, and allow God to actually be the author of that story. Number 7, we're almost done. Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. It really does. So invest in your gifts and in your skills. But again, just to a side but crucial note on that, you don't want to be a tank of skills and really there's no fruit you're bearing. So just focus on growing the kind of skills that are really really gonna help you in your life. Once you understand your purpose and you understand your vision, then look at what skills are going to help me to actually achieve this thing. Because some people are tanks of skills. They can do all things literally, but then you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. So it's very important to focus on the specific skills that will actually contribute to the bigger picture about your existence. So practice makes permanent. Literally just invest in what all that you want to be tomorrow, and it's actually going to stick with you, not just skill wise but character wise, and in all those things. Practice honesty, practice genuineness, practice those values and all that. Sharpen them, and it will all pay off. Number 8, I have learned to walk in step with God. I really really have. God is a step-by-step kind of God. I wish I could explain this as I'm seeing it in my mind right now. You know how when you have a little baby who is just about to walk, and you hold them and you place them on your feet, their feet are on your feet, so that you can walk, maybe just show them what this walking thing is really like. I actually visualize my walk with God to be like that. And when it comes to walking in step with Him, that's actually what I see every time I think about it. That He moves and I move with Him. He moves and I move with Him. God is so orderly, and when you do not walk in step with Him, it's easy for you to miss out on order. It's easy for you to be so busy, really, really working out of the borders of what God would want you to be doing. He's orderly, but he can also be spontaneous. So for you to just balance out the order of God and the spontaneity altogether, you really really need to be in a place where you're spiritually sensitive, and in a place where you can know when to do what. You are so aligned, and your spiritual listening skills are sharpened enough for you to know when to do what. Because sometimes God may lead you to do something that looks out of order according to how we do things as human beings, but it's really really in order at that particular time. So learn to walk in step with God. I hope I have explained that, as I've done the best I could to explain that. And yeah. Number 9. Oh, I learned this one from an amazing brother of mine. His name is Riga. Riga, shout out if you watch my vlogs. I learned this from Riga, that God does not always promise outcome, but He promises His presence always. God will not always tell you that this is what's gonna come out of this whole thing you're going through, but He promises that whatever it is that you go through, He is gonna be with you always. peace. And I think that's so affirming. Sorry about the wind. I think that's so affirming and so rich and so profound, and so it really gives you strength. So I'm just sharing this with you to keep it etched in your heart. It's really, it has done a lot for me, and I think it's really beautiful. He promises to just be with you all the time, regardless of what you go through. And lastly, authenticity is golden. Authenticity is really golden. I love being me, and I cannot be anyone else. And bottom line, whatever you do in this life, let it have a touch of you. Let it have a touch of you. Oh. Bottom line, whatever you do in this life, let it have a touch of you. That's what makes it beautiful. Yes, I think I'm done at that point. I cannot even say it any better. Authenticity is beautiful. Authenticity is beautiful. It's great to look up to people and trying to emulate what they do, but you cannot copy paste. You can only do that same thing, but you can best do it when you do it as you are. And I am never shaken and never really much moved to do something this way because so and so is is great, and you're walking in the same path, and you could only match up because if you do it the way they're doing them. No, I really believe that I can only serve something best when I am serving it as me, and I celebrate being me. So thank you guys for just joining with me, staying with me. I really pray that I have been a blessing. I look forward to 2018. I'm a bit nervous still, but God is in our boats. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be beautiful, I'm so sure. And I'm just excited to walk with God and walk in the ways that He has already marked out for me. So I just want to take this chance to wish you all a beautiful Christmas. I don't know about, I know there could be someone out there who's not as enthusiastic about Christmas this time, just like I have been until yesterday when we had time with family and I celebrated the fact that I have a beautiful treasure that I ought to always celebrate, and that is a beautiful family. I also got some gifts, so I just want to thank the people who have made my Christmas. And I know that I was saying that I know that there could be some of you who are really looking around on your social media or people around you, and you don't get what's this fuss about Christmas. Why are people so excited? My life is not really the best or what I'd want it to be right now, so I don't really see why I should celebrate. But you really have a big reason to celebrate. Jesus is the reason, just like we all say, is the reason for the season, and that's the biggest thing to celebrate. And look out for God's gift to you this Christmas. I feel like God does give every one of us a gift this Christmas. He has given me my gift, and I'm just thankful. So I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Enjoy Christmas. Christmas is tomorrow, and this is my last video of the year, so I'm gonna see you next year. I'm going up country. I'm being deported by my dad and my mom. We're going up country, all the four of us, and I'm just thinking to also take some time off, so I'm gonna be offline, but I'm really waiting to see what 2018 will be like. So thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Have a beautiful new year. I really pray the best for you in the coming year. May God's hand be on you. That's really what I can pray for all of you. May God's hand be on you. Thank you, and bye.